Welcome to the 8th episode of Empower Your Magical Self. I'm your host, Leah Wellborn, the Mystic Autistic. Today, my guest is Kim Cardiel Earley. Kim is a really magnetic and charismatic person who I found on social media, as I find so many of the people who I have become absolutely crazy about. Kim is a Reiki healer. She is a reader of the Akashic Record. She is a light worker. She really is just a person who brings a lot of joy and
I asked
harmony
Kim
to the
about her
world. I think
Reiki
that we're
practice
lucky
here, so
to
it's
be
great to hear
living
what she
here
had
on
to
the planet
say.
at the same time as Kim, but that's just me. Check out the episode and see what you think. Here is episode 8 of Empower Your Magical Self with Kim Cardiel Early. Hey,
Uh,
welcome. Thank you so much for talking to me. I really
oh,
appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. As somebody who does woo woo like me, we could talk about this stuff all day, every day. It's
No
like,
kidding. Yeah. And I think one of the cool things I'm realizing about my podcast is that it is sort of a tribute to the positive potential of social media
yeah,
because I found you through social media. I found so many of my guests who have become so meaningful in my life through social media.
I love it.
Have
Yes,
you had a kind of a similar experience in your path?
I have. It's so crazy how people, and it's your perception is your reality, and how you think about something is what you're going to manifest. So if you're
Yes.
like stressed out about it, or you're on social media to become an influencer, or to become famous, like, to me, I chuckled when I saw this girl, and she's like, there's so much pressure on being a social media outlet. She's an Instagrammer, and she was explaining like how much time she took for the perfect picture. And I don't even know how to use filters. I'm like, I was looking at some girl I follow on Instagram. It said made with effect. So I tapped it on, and it was a filter. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. I didn't even know I was like, what does this mean? So I thought it was like when you're on TikTok, you hit it and it's like a certain format to make a video. So I
Right, right,
thought
right.
that's what it was, but it ended up being a filter. So for me, social media is not about numbers. It's not about being pretty, and you could tell from my videos how I look in some of them. It's to me, it's like, do I have a message?
Right.
What is the point of me doing this? What's my intention? What am I trying to create? I'm trying to, recover out loud with my sobriety. I'm trying to show people how it's possible to be an angry person and then not become an angry person. I want to show people it is possible to have a really crappy childhood and come out of that, and just be real about it. So no, I'm not a pretty person. I don't wake up with the perfect face, and I don't have time with 2 kids to worry about that. And I'm not judging people. I'm just saying, like, with my intention with social media, it was to reach people, and that's what I've done. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I love that. And what is the perfect face anyway? To
Right.
me, your face is perfect for who you are. My
Yeah.
face is perfect for who I am. So it grieves me when I see younger, especially women, who will not put their pretty faces on camera because they feel like they don't look like, I don't know, whoever the girls want to look like right now.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, oh, you pretty, pretty little girl. Don't even, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I love too about age, and I
Mm,
chuckle.
yes.
Because if I could have had the confidence that I had at 46 and 26, like, I think, oh my God, I'd be so. But then we all know, also doing what we do, that everything has to happen the way that it happens, when it's supposed to happen. So, you know,
Isn't that the truth? It
keep
really
the energy.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said you're 46, is that
I'm
right?
46. Yep. I'll be 47 in January.
I'm 50 and I'll be 51 in December. And I cannot believe how much I love being 50.
I am looking forward to 50.
Oh,
And
girl, you're
people
going to
like,
love
I
it.
know I
Yeah.
am, because I really loved my 40s. I've been loving my mid 40s, and I cannot wait to step into my 50s. Like, I have this vision of like what life is going to look like and where I'm going to be and what I look
Yeah.
like. And I'm so excited for that future. I've been
Right.
shown, through my Akashic records, what 50 is going to look like for me. And I'm like, oh, yes, I am ready to receive all of it. Bring it.
Talk to me about that. That's interesting that you referenced the Akashic Records. So I'm fairly knowledgeable about what that is, but tell people who may not be what that is and what your experience with that is, please.
Well, the Akashic Records is your soul's library. It's all of your past lives, it's your present, and all of your future possibilities. Because we do sign soul contracts. We do have contracts with other people, our brothers, our sisters, our parents, our partners, our children, our friends that come in for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. And with each choice, I say it's like that game you used to play in school with your fingers,
Yes.
and it'd be like, you
Mash,
pick.
mansion, apartment.
Yeah, so you make a
Yeah.
choice, and then from that choice, that's going to lead to the next choice, and that's going to lead to the next
Uh-huh.
choice. So, and not everything is set in stone. You have many possibilities of how each path can go, And so with the Akashic Records, I love tapping into them because I love looking at my past, seeing relationships and how they play out now and how they were tied to me before. Like my father and I have very interesting energy. My mom and I saw a past life where my mom and I were best friends, and we made an agreement in this life. She had to be the mom and I had to be the daughter because I'm teaching her to loosen up and she's teaching me to have a little bit more organization. Do you know what I mean? But we had
Yeah.
to do it in a way where it was mother-daughter and not friends. So we decided to do that in this live. So it's interesting, how that's
How do
playing
you
out.
tap into that? How do you do that? How do you find that out?
So with anything, I always say, listen, first of all, let me preface it with there's no wrong way, there is no right way. Get those words out of your vocabulary. There
Right.
is energy. What is your intention? What are you trying to create? For me personally, I like having mentors. So once I had my mental breakdown at 42, I had a really bad relapse with alcohol and cocaine. I had been, having kids and breastfeeding, so there was no alcohol. And then, you top that with all of this. Anyway, we'll get into that. I had a mental breakdown at 42. When that happened, I ended up in a rehab. Then I had heard of Reiki, but really got my first Reiki session. That was a whole awakening. And then after that, it was like, oh, these Akashic records. So this lady wooed me. I went and took her class and learned how to read the Akashic records. So it was a 4-month course. And then after
Wow.
that, I actually studied with another gentleman who's a really close mentor of mine. And he's also my Kundalini Reiki masters. He attuned her. So I call him my grandfather.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, but I studied under him my second course of the Akashic records so that I could really sit and learn how to tap into those records and how to read the records for other people. So beautiful. So I just have
I
to
love it.
focused. That's
Yeah.
my problem. I'm like, squirting. Look at
I
that.
know. That's and I don't, is it a problem because it's a commonality of so many of us who are like you and I are, whatever the heck we are, And it's almost like the universe is just showing us all these little glimmers and we're, the fireflies, and what we catch and can give back, we can, and what we can't, we leave for the other people. I don't know. That's kind of the way I like to think about it because
No, I
there's so
agree.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I said I agree. We're getting so many downloads all the
Right.
time that, I laugh when people call it ADHD, and I'm like, no, I'm just a manifesting generator. I'm just
Yeah.
constantly manifesting. That's why I'm like, look over here, look over there, and let's do that. So I just had a talk with my guides this morning, and I was like, guys, okay, I love me and I love who I am. And I love that I'm like, I don't care about time because like you were saying, like whatever we are, we don't think three-dimensionally,
It's
and that
right.
is
Yeah.
why time is a third dimensional vibration. So
Yeah.
that's why when things happen, or that's why we love age, like we're like, bring it, that's a blessing. And
Totally.
I'm getting
Yeah.
more downloads, and I'm more confident, and I'm getting weirder, and I love it.
Right. Right.
um yeah, so that's why we're just constantly getting these downloads. So, I laugh when I see these ADHD videos, and some of it resonates. But to be honest with you, since I've done Reiki and really accepted, like you said, is it really a bad thing? Is it, and I've accepted it, it's really become like a superpower.
Yes. 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 That's the way I feel about my autism. It was
Yeah.
just, it was undiagnosed until I was about your age a few years ago. And it changed everything for me because sadly, I felt like it gave me a permission slip that I wish that I hadn't needed. And so I would like to tell other people, not you, because you don't need that damn permission slip, but other people who are sitting there thinking, man, I wish I could take that leap that Leah took. I wish I could do that cool thing that Kim's doing. Do it.
Do
because
it.
nobody's going to give you permission.
No one.
You got to just,
You,
yeah.
you have to make yourself happy. I'm such a big
Yes.
advocate for that. When you wait for that job, that thing to make you happy, that thing is inside of you. That
Yes.
thing is your happiness. And that's what you have to work on. And when you get that, all the things will be beautiful, you know?
And it's so difficult. I mean, imagine telling yourself 4 years ago, I think it was, that's about your timeline. That's
Yeah,
about my
4.5. Yeah.
timeline. I would have said, you go to hell. You're stupid. You don't know what I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
So I think you and I can relate with being on the other side of that and then seeing people who are where we were and knowing, unless they say, yeah, help me, there's all we can say is just go with grace and be well. And I'll be here when you're ready.
Yes.
You
And
know?
I really learned what holding space meant.
Oh,
I
yes.
really learned what a reflection meant. Like when, they would say, oh, if you're triggered and you don't like somebody, it's a reflection of something in you. And I'd be like, fuck off. I just don't
I
like
know.
you know what I mean? I'd be
You
like, no.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, now I truly understand that. So now every time I'm triggered, I'm like, let me go put myself in timeout.
Right.
Let me go figure out why I'm angry, why I'm triggered, because it's not about them. It's something that I'm feeling. Let me go. What is my little inner child crying about now?
Yep.
let's, go,
Yep.
let's go sit with her and figure it out. What age are we dealing with right now? Where's this? What is this trauma tied to? Let's go clear that up. Yeah.
Your approach, because I also had really huge rage issues. It would just absolutely incapacitated me in life. And it's so wonderful to see an example like yourself. It's a little bit forbidden for women to be angry and to admit angry.
Yeah.
I think, and to see someone like yourself who has come from that place, it has been such a model for me to be like, yeah, I was angry as hell. I'm working through that. I still get triggered. I still get angry as hell. And it's okay. I don't get mad at myself. Like you said, I figure out where this is coming from and come out the other side loving myself more, which is what it's all about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ego. I really learned to
Yes.
put my ego away, because even when I became spiritual, my ego was now like, I did all this healing. So
I know it.
was healing too. Like,
Yep.
like, girl, my guys were like, please sit down and shut the fuck up. Like, here she goes again. Like, here she goes. She's done all this healing. So I really learned to, like I said, hold space.
Right.
What does that mean? That means I stay in my lane. I don't put my 2 cents in unless somebody asked, and I just sit there and hold space for them, and I just extend love. What I've learned also, so my second Akashic Records teacher, who, like I said, is a mentor, I'm really close to.
Father.
Yeah, my grandfather, Garrett, Akashic Soul Healing. And you guys, I'll give you that. You guys want to check out him. He's amazing. But I also got my Grand Reiki Master certification from him, and I just finished that course. And it was so profound how he was talking, we want to heal from the vibration of love. And that's what that whole course was about. So when somebody has a family member that died, or when somebody just got a cancer diagnosis, or somebody, has just gotten some tragic news, what's the first thing we do? We're like, oh my God, I feel so sorry for them. Oh my God, let's pray for them. Oh my God. So now you have all these people feeling sorry for you. And guess what vibration you're sending to that person? Sorrow and pain,
pity.
So, what he taught me was in this course was, no, the higher vibration is to sit there and hold space and send them love, send them healing, send them all these wonderful, like, you're healing, you are whole. This is going to go quickly. Like, this is an experience for you, like, because it is. And that's hard to say to people, which you have to find ways to not be an asshole and be like, well, you put this in your soul contract.
I know it. Well, you can go fuck yourself with your soul contract.
Really, like, well, you chose, and this is to make you stronger. You know what I mean? It's like, are you serious right now? So that's why I don't say anything, and I just say, I'm going to extend love to you. I'm extending love to you.
This is a really ignorant question, but what is Hapa? What is that? HAPA?
Hapa, yes. So Hapa is in Hawaii. There's a lot of mixed cultures, and there's a
Sure.
lot of Japanese that are there. So they call Hapa when you're mixed with Asian ethnicity and then also the Hawaiian ethnicity. So
Okay.
yeah, so they call them Hapa. So a lot of the half Asians, like, because I'm half Korean, half Mexican. So a
Okay.
lot of us have adopted calling, if you're half Asian, we call ourselves
I
Hapa.
see. Okay,
So it
cool.
indicates that we're half Asian and then half something else. It could be white, it could be Hispanic, it could be,
I see.
European. Yeah, and then I just took it and I just rolled into the Hapa healer. And
I
I was
love
like,
it. I've seen the word. I've seen it on restaurants. I
yeah,
didn't know what it meant. Yeah. So
yeah,
thank you for
yeah,
telling me. Yeah. And I'm
yeah.
sure there are probably other people who don't know too. So
Yeah, thank
chance
you
for
for
education, of
asking. Yeah,
course.
you're the first
Yeah.
one that asked. So yeah, it means half Asian. So that's kind of
Okay.
what that refers to.
So do you consider yourself like Native American or no? But
I
I
am
mean, because
indigenous. Yes, I
okay,
do.
yeah,
Yeah.
indigenous, yeah.
So my indigenous culture comes from Mexico. So I'm South
Okay,
American indigenous. So
got it.
my grandfather from my father's side is from Chiapas, which is, in the southern part of
Mexico.
Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And his mom is from the Yucatan Peninsula. So she was my,
Okay.
and it's very unfortunate, but she passed away when my dad was like 6 months old. So I've never
Mm.
even seen a picture of her.
Oh
But
no.
man, her and I are like this. Like
Yeah.
we talk so much, and she knew I was going to be the one to look for her. She deserves for us to find out what happened to her. We still don't have a clear story of how she died. We don't
Yeah.
know. We don't know what happened. Why my dad and my uncle, my aunt were found in the jungle from
Oh, really?
from
Oh
one of my
no.
grandfather's sisters. And then that sister had no children. She took them in. She dropped of a heart attack when my dad was 4 years old. He watched her die. I said, my dad, I just found out last year about this. And he witnessed that aunt dying after he lost his mother already at like 6 months old. And then you wonder, it's really opened my eyes to having more compassion for him because he's
Mhm.
got some trauma. And
Yeah.
we're in the age of Aquarius right now.
Yeah.
People are waking up. They're tired of being tired. They want love. They want to start being happy,
Right.
and COVID broke that down. Like, oh, I don't have to go to work.
Right.
Oh, I can find other ways to make money.
Hmm.
Oh, wait a second. I don't know what the government or the higher ups were doing, but what I've been shown is they were targeting at something. They totally missed their target. It backfired on them.
Yeah. Yeah. It it is it's such an odd, well, I mean, there's so much I could say because it is an odd time to be alive, but like you said, time is weird. And I reckon every one of probably every person who's ever lived has thought, what a weird time to be alive.
Yeah.
So how am I any different? I don't know.
Some lady on TikTok was like, "Can we go back to the good old days?" And I was like, "Skirt, stop the record. Good old days,
Which ones you talk about?
ma'am. When was that? We've had World War One, World War Two, the Korean War, Vietnam War. Let's not forget the genocide of the Jews. Like, what are you
Right.
talking about? What good old days? And when were they good for who?
Yeah.
There's never been a good old days. Humans have been awful to each other since day one. Our egos control everything. Our egos need to be fed. It's just, and like I said, even the spiritual ones. And
Right.
and the thing is, though, I was aware of what I was doing, right? And
Mhm.
I'm not saying I'm perfect either, but
Oh, no.
I going back to me. Why am I acting this way? Why am I triggered? Why am I doing this? Go figure it out, Kim.
And it gets easier, doesn't it?
It does.
Because when
It,
I first was doing that, I do that a lot too. And I can just be like, oh, ego. I don't even say, oh, that was my ego. I'm sorry. Never mind.
yeah.
Back on track,
Yeah.
And that would have been mortifying to me when I was in my disease. And now it's just like, it's nothing. It's a gnat, And it's helped me a lot to conceive of my ego as a guard dog who really wants the best for me, but when they're not obeying their training, they're going to get out of hand and cause a whole ruckus. Everybody knows somebody who's gotten a guard dog because they've been hurt, and that guard dog makes everybody's life fucking miserable, right? They're just
I
barking at the neighbor.
love that
It's helped me so
analogy.
much. You don't want to kill your guard dog. Your guard dog can be the best thing in your life, but you've got to be in control of that guard dog and make sure it is very well trained, because there's nothing worse than a poorly trained guard dog. And that's the same thing as an ego, right?
Yes.
That
Wow.
has helped me so much.
I really like that analogy. And
Whenever
it's so
somebody
true.
says they're trying to kill their ego, I'm like, could you just
No.
train it
Yeah,
instead? I
you
mean,
can't.
you don't
That's the
want to
shadow work.
euthanize it. Exactly. That's the shadow work. Yep.
It's your shadow.
Mm-hmm.
It cannot leave you. It is a part of you. It's going to show. It illuminates the parts of you that you need to work
That's
on.
exactly right.
You
Yeah.
know, you can't, yin and yang. You cannot. You got to know it. And you have to, like you said, you call yourself out. You're aware of her.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, I see you there. Sit down. You know what
Yep.
I mean?
Yep.
I see you
Yep.
try to come out and play. Not right now.
And even saying it to the people I'm in conversation with. I mean, I had so many people be like, thank you for saying that. I'm going to say that next time that happens to me. Again, it's like that permission that we don't really need, but somehow we feel like we need somebody to give us permission to. So I'm giving everybody permission. Call out your ego in
Yes,
public,
call out your
right?
ego.
It's
Yeah,
not a big deal. It'll
it's
make other
not.
people feel closer to you.
And it's real.
Yeah.
That's what I said when I've told people so many times, the day that you hear me say, oh my God, I finally figured it all out. I got it all figured out.
You'll
You
say,
know what?
sit down, Kim.
Either an
Right?
alien has taken over my
Yeah.
body or my ego has taken back over the driver's seat. And no, because it's impossible. Like, that's why we have so many reincarnations, because it's how, you know what I mean? Like, to be that enlightened, like, how? It's just, come on, we're human. We're
Right.
human.
Yeah. What really, truly, anybody who's listening, once you have that relationship with your ego, everything is so much better. If
So
it's
much
just your
better.
trained guard dog, it's there when you need to, like Kim said, jump up and let somebody know. Maybe you need to stay back a little bit, but
Yeah.
then you can put it back and everything's cool and you can go on with your life. It does not
Yeah.
have to wreck your life and leave you with eaten up couches and friends who don't like you anymore and medical bills from bites, and none
Yeah.
of that has to happen. None of it. Just
Yes,
train the
because
ego.
because when you lead with ego, your chakras are imbalanced, which cause physical ailments, which really do cause hospital bills. You know what I
Yes.
mean? It is such a beautiful, oh, it changed my life. It changed everything. How I see things, how I talk, how I believe, how I act, how I receive others and their energy, how I protect myself, how I've completely just transformed into this person that I saw. You know, I used to be that girl up at 5 a.m., coming back from the bar, seeing the people running at 5:30 a.m. And I've said this so on so many of my videos, like, I used to sit there and be like, I'm going to be that girl one day. I'm going to be
Mm.
that girl one day who's running at 5:30 a.m. I know it. I am. I am. And I turned into that girl at the age of 42,
Yay!
43.
I love
So
it.
don't give up. You
Right.
know, I could not run in my 20s and 30s without a knee brace, and I had to have an inhaler. I don't use an inhaler. I don't use knee braces. I run 10Ks, 15Ks, half marathons
Wow.
with no inhaler and no knee brace, nothing. You
I
know,
love
like,
that.
how I'm in better shape now at 47 because of Reiki, because of my balanced chakras, because of my mindset, because I don't tell myself I'm 47 and I can't do it. I say, no, I'm a badass and I'm only 47 and of course I can do it.
Right. I'm 50 and I'm in better shape than I've ever been because I was a daily drinker since my 20s up until
Yeah.
about 3 years ago. And I know that you also had some drinking stuff. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, you can say a
You
lot.
just drank, but I drank and did cocaine. So I would
Yeah.
drink all day, every day, from the second I woke up or I got to work until 5:30 the next day, and then I'd sleep for a few hours, get up, go back to work. And I bartended while I was trying to be an actress and singing and all that. That was my background before I became a badass Reiki practitioner.
Yeah.
So I was out there
Yeah.
trying to be famous, but all of that happened for a reason, because now
Right.
I can go on TikTok live, and not care and just be
Right.
like, hey, and not have any anxiety or anything about that. Like, I'm about
Right.
to really step into public speaking. And that's what I've been shown. Like, I always saw, even when I was like 18, 19, I was shown my future. I was on a stage with the microphone in my hand. I've
Mm-hmm.
always
Mm-hmm.
been shown that I was going to be on a stage. So it makes me laugh so hard because that vision has not changed. I am on a stage with a microphone, but I'm not singing.
You just
I'm not doing
misunderstood maybe
theater.
yours.
I'm
Yeah.
speaking my story, which is
Right.
even better. I don't have to memorize somebody else's fucking lines. I'm
Right.
just up there speaking my truth, my story. That's why my stand-up was so good. And I talk about my pain in a funny way because it does make me laugh. It makes me laugh now. Not all of it, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But there are moments that, you know, when I tell these stories, like that's why I did so well in stand up because it's like
Yeah.
you cannot make this shit up. You
Right.
know, like your mom forgetting your sister's birthday, like, you know, just so many things like that are like, oh my God, like she really said that. I'm like, she really when I had to go to Pittsburgh, I was living in LA, hot mess. It was 2012. And I said to my mom, if I have to work for you and run this hair store that you got yourself into a mess for, you have to pay for me to go on a wedding, on a dating website. I'm 35. Like, come on, lady. And I'm going to be flying back and forth from California to Pittsburgh. So, you know, I got to figure out a way I'm a date. She's like, okay. So I had been on eHarmony. I had been on Match.com. I had been on all of them at that point. One I had never tried was Christian.com.
Oh God.
So I tried to go on Christian.com. My credit card would not work. It would not work. So I said to my mom, give me your credit card. Give me your credit card. Let me try your credit card. I tried her credit card. This woman's credit score is so high that people would like, bankers are like, are you serious?
Right.
Her credit card wouldn't work. It would not let me join.
Listen.
Because you know why? 10 years later, they knew I was going to be a full-blown fucking witch.
Yep.
And
Yep.
ain't
Yep.
no way was I going to be. If I would have married a Christian man, I never would have stepped into my power.
Yep.
And they were like, ma'am, no. We don't know what you're trying to do, but it is not that. You know what I mean? Like completely blocked. Yeah.
Do you, sometimes I
card.
imagine my spirit guides just kind of laughing like, oh, no.
You have no idea what you're trying to do, Kim. And we're just going to go ahead and block you. And we're going to block that second credit card. It's not happening. Keep trying. Get a third one. Go see what happens. Like,
It's the truth. There have been emails that I've written mad and press send, and it's like, can't send right now. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God.
yes, me too.
And that's what happens when you get an alignment. It is crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy.
They truly are like, you know what? We're going to help her out a little bit more.
Yeah. Our girl's trying real hard here.
They're like, she's been doing the work. Let's, yeah. But it's so funny.
It really is, because there was a time when it was like nothing went right. And I was just convinced I am just this fucking loser and nothing will ever go right for me. I might as well get this life over as quickly as possible because this sucks. I got to start over.
Oh, girl, those words are resonating. So I called myself Murphy's Law. I was like, I'm Murphy's Law in real life.
And look what happened. Look what we did, Kim. Look what we did.
Now all I do is win. I play that song all the time that my kids know it. I'm like, all I do is win, no matter what. We have won so many Chinese auction baskets. It is not even funny. Literally almost every single one we go, we will win a basket.
Wow.
We win a basket in every single one. And it never happened to me before because I said I got bad luck. I don't win anything. Right. And then I was like, no, I do win. I do have good luck. Look, I got one boy, one girl, a husband that I love. Like this, what? Right. I'm winning. What the fuck? I'm already winning.
Right.
You know, I'm sober. And when I took that mentality, now all of a sudden I'm winning all these baskets.
Yeah.
Nothing changed but me.
Yep.
I changed. My mentality changed.
That's right.
Nothing changed but me. Yeah.
And I was just about to ask you, what is magic in your definition? And then I started to say, well, that was magic. So I'm just going to roll it back and ask you, what is magic?
That is magic. Magic is when you start to love yourself, when you shift the perception of everything is out to get you to everything is for you. When you understand that truly you are a magician and that you are the creator of your universe, you truly are. That is when magic happens. Like I said, I didn't get lucky all of a sudden. I just changed my mindset. And when I told the universe, I'm ready to accept all the good things that you want to give me, that's when it started happening. If you're sitting in a low vibration where you're not ready to accept things, The universe cannot give it to you. I have a client who wanted a new job, and I told her, put it out there. Tell the universe you want a new job. So she's applying, but she hasn't gotten a new job. We sat down for a reading, and I was like, uh-oh, what's going on over here with your relationship? And she was like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah, they're telling me the reason the job hasn't come is because this is a hot mess. So if this new job comes in when there's all this fire
not
going
going to
on,
work out.
you're not even going to enjoy this new job. They want you to enjoy this. You've been working for this. You've been putting out applications. You're working hard for this, and they're going to give it to you when you're ready.
Right.
So that's what we have to understand too. Magic happens when it's supposed to, but that's the magic. You don't stress those things. You truly, truly have faith and believe that anything and everything for you will not pass you by. So you sit patiently and you say, all right, well, this is what I want. And I had a moment this morning, and I'm like, if I'm manifesting fast enough, God damn it. I've been patient. I had a moment this morning, and I was like, I think I need some Reiki. Or is Aunt Flo coming? Because sometimes Aunt Flo, sorry for the guys listening, it's a fucking fact. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden I'm moody and anxiety and freaking out, and usually it's Aunt Flo. And I'm like, okay, well, thank you, because I know I'm not some moody bitch. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
that speaks to knowing yourself too.
Yeah.
Really knowing yourself, because I mean, I could eat foods that would upset my stomach and then be like, why am I in a bad mood? Well, bitch, because you ate something that upset your stomach. Don't do that anymore. You know, it's so easy to check out and not really know what, oh, I know myself fine. Do you though? Do you really? You know?
Yes.
Know what makes you happy.
Know what makes you happy. The magic is knowing that you're not on this earth to make anybody else happy. Everybody has their own contract and their own journey going on. Okay. So even my children, when I see them acting a certain way or doing certain things, I literally see things now from a higher dimension where I'm like, okay, I'm teaching him not to be a dick, but if he wants to be a dick, go ahead, dickhead. Find out what kind of energy is going to come back to you. And I told him that keep messing with people, somebody bigger than you is going to hit you back one day. And there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing. I release all of that. I could sit here and stress like a lot of parents do, like, oh my God, da, da, da. That's not magic. Magic is trusting.
Right.
Ask yourself every day, am I doing what I need to do? I need to read to my kids a little bit more. And I know where I need to do things. And that's all. Like, ask yourself, what am I doing? And that's where the magic is. Magic is knowing yourself, knowing your energy, and just knowing that you are the magician.
Right.
You are the one creating everything and anything. What do you want? Go get it.
Yeah.
Nothing's stopping you.
And stop trying to outsource everything. Right. Yeah.
And time.
Yes.
Time does not exist. It does not exist. You don't have to be married by a certain age. You don't have to have kids by a certain age. You don't have to have X amount of dollars in your bank account. You don't have to go on vacation every year. You don't have to do anything. What do you want to do? That's all you need to listen to. Stop listening to these commercials and the news and your friends and the insurance adjusters and the doctors. What do you want? Your heart's desires. Where the fuck do you think they came from? Why do you like certain music? Why do you like certain foods? Why do you really want to help people? All of that is your guidance. That's your compass. You have to listen to it, or you'll never see the magic.
That's true.
You'll live in the darkness. You'll never go to the circus, ever. You're going to feel that the circus is only for the rich, and it's not.
That's right. Yeah.
Trust me, the richest circus is a shit show. You don't want to see that circus.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can be rich and be pure and happy.
You can, but ego, and that top 1%. And that's and that's another layer that I have to peel back. I have my judgment against, because I'm just like, can't you just build some homes for the homeless, you billionaire?
I know. And I see decrepit buildings, and I'm like, why is this not a boarding house for homeless people?
Don't worry about us living on Mars right now. Can you worry about the humans we have on Earth right now?
Exactly. So you're so sure that you're going to trash this planet, you got to get off it.
how about fix it? I'm not,
Right.
and I'm not naming names, but we
Right.
all know who we're talking about.
Yeah,
You
totally.
know,
Yeah.
and that's who I'm talking about. Those like 1%. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and I
It's,
am going to
yeah.
call Bill Gates out. I'll probably listen. This is probably going to come back to hit me on my ass because he is who he is. But he's sneaky. He's always up to something. I don't watch the news. I do not watch the news because
I
it's all
stopped watching the
propaganda.
news. Yeah.
They call it programming they call them programs for a
Right.
reason. They're
Mhm.
programming you. I don't watch that. I put a prayer out for Israel and Palestine, the
I
children,
did too.
and both of them came at me, and I was like, listen. I am not a politician. I am not an expert on this. I don't give a fuck who's right or who's wrong, because first of all, I don't say right or wrong. What I see as a human being who doesn't watches the news, all I see are innocent people, children being kidnapped, being murdered for whatever reason, because I don't care. It doesn't matter. Just stop it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm extending love and healing, because if I can do that, maybe there's a family somewhere who is just sitting in so much fear, and I want them to feel me sending them love, saying, just hang in there. Help is on the way. And maybe while I'm extending that love, they're going to have that glimmer of hope or something that helped them hold on that day. They do feel it. They feel that energy. And that's what I said. Don't pity them. Let's start saying, I love you. Help is coming. Help. I don't care. There's no right. There's no wrong. They've been fighting over there for generations. Stop. Just stop. And I'm allowed to pray for whoever I want to pray. And if you're saying that I shouldn't pray for these innocent people because of something, you're the problem.
Right.
You need to go ask yourself, why are you telling me not to pray for somebody because that they're wrong? No, they're not. They didn't put these borders up. Those children didn't put. Some of these kids barely even speak. What did they do?
Yeah.
Come on.
I'm always excited when one of your videos comes up, because I know it's going to make me happy, and that's the bottom line, is it makes me happy, and like in a wholesome way. Because I used to say, well, vodka makes me happy, but no, this makes me really happy.
Yes. Tito's is my best friend on my relapse. So
I know, right?
I was real Mexican with Tito for 3 months. So.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy Scorpio season, you beautiful, beautiful woman. I'm just so thrilled. This has been a wonderful start to my day. It's a little earlier here. So
This is a great afternoon for me. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I will see you on social media, because it's not all bad.
Yes, it's not. It's definitely not. Yeah.
All right, darling. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much. I really appreciate
I'll talk to you
this.
soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye.
And that was episode 8 of Empower Your Magical Self. Thank you so much for joining me, Leah, the Mystic Autistic, with my guest, Kim. I really hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did. And I hope maybe it'll empower you, inspire you to empower your magical self. Go out and find some magic. Go make some magic, better yet, because it's within you. And I know that you have the magic within you, just as I do, and just as Kim does. Let me know how you're empowering your magical self. Write to me. I always enjoy hearing from listeners. Thanks so much, and I'll see you again next week for episode 9 of Empower Your Magical Self.